Welcome to Ask Me Anything, featuring spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.
Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Ask Me Anything. I am spiritual medium Kellee White, and I'm here with Renee in the background. Hi, Renee. I hope everybody is doing well. Hi, Stacy. Hi, Lori Counts. Oh my gosh. Hi, Lori. You're so talented. Hi, Lori. Well, got a lot to talk about today, but I think I'll just say hi to everybody first. This has been quite a week, hasn't it? Quite a week for everybody. Hi, Jessica. Hi, everybody. Hi, Gemma. Hi, Charmaine. Hey, Donna Ballard. Hi, everybody. Hi, Lori. Lori Gauthier Young. I love your questions, by the way. Hey, Gina Marie. I hope you got my information about somatic experience, but we'll talk about it again. Hey, Julie. Hi, Ardelia from Australia. Why did I say Alaska? Australia. Hey, Lene. Hey, Tracy and Monique. Hey, Lori. Hey, Renee Martinez. Arlene. Hi, everybody. Hi, Lori Clark. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Amanda. Hi, Ardelia. Yeah, quite a week is an understatement for sure. Well, hey, Kim Ann. You're snowed in Tennessee like I've been? Okay, that's something, huh, in Tennessee. This has been unbelievable. Hey, Karen Ann. This has been unbelievable. Hi, Mitzi Carruthers from Zimbabwe. Oh my God. Hey, Mitzi. Wow. Hey, Debbie Foster. Hey, Troy. Long-time listener. So sweet. Thank you, Troy. Hey, Susan Randolph. Yeah, a lot went on this week. Let me just say a lot went on this week. It's unbelievable. I think that what happened in Texas and in the South, I'm going to start with Texas, is because of the square that we had on the 17th. We had a radical square, Saturn squaring Uranus, and that's the old, Saturn is the institution. It starts off the whole year. And we're going to have three of those squares. It squares Uranus, and we're going to have three of those squares this year. That was the first one was Wednesday. And I think that brought on this disaster, this trauma disaster in Texas. Um, it it's so awful for people right now. My daughter and her babies are there, and my friends are there. My other family is there in Texas, and I've been witness to watching them and feel as helpless as possible. And it's just awful. It's just awful watching all of this play out in real time. My daughter didn't have power for 2 days. Her only friend, her only COVID buddy friend, I should say, a lot of friends, but her only COVID buddy friend did have power. So they packed up their two cats and their dogs and their babies. She said it was like the zombie apocalypse. So it's just awful, awful. And I feel so helpless. But what I have been doing is praying a lot. Even in the middle of the night, I wake up and I'm praying. I'm just worried for everybody there. And Debbie Foster Haran says she's been above zero temps as of yesterday. You finally are above. I think we're finally above too here in Wisconsin. One thing I can say about Wisconsin is we have a really good infrastructure for this kind of thing. And I just feel terrible for those people in Texas. Just awful about it. Just breaks my heart. But I think this has to do with this square that we were talking about. This square it's going to be brutal. And we have two more squares. The next one is June 14th of Saturn squaring Uranus and December 23rd. But let's talk a little bit about what's happening now, shall we? Because that's all a lot. But I thought we'll go into the other thing. Oh, the other thing I want to ask anybody. Hey, Dwight, I want to ask anybody if I had the first shot of Moderna. I did. I had my first vaccine. So here's what my experience was. I got hit by a snow plow. I got hit so hard that I passed out and I slept for 36 hours straight. I'd like to know if anybody else had that experience from the first shot. So if you have, please let me know. Hey, from Wisconsin, River member. Thank you. Hi there. Lots of love from Chicago. Hi, Di. Pretty flowers. Those were for my husband for Valentine's Day. So sweet. Hey, Joanne. I'm good. How are you, honey? Talk about talented. That gal's talented. That happened, Jessica says, after her second shot. Right. That's what I hear from everybody, the second shot. So I don't know what happened to me. Why the first shot? I'm hoping, of course, that I have no problems with the second shot. Please God, that should be the case. It was a kind of fatigue and brain scramble that I had never had before. I mean, it just knocked me on my ass. So I wonder if it happened to anybody else. So let's talk about a couple of other things here going on. So on the 19th of February, so today is the 18th, the 19th tomorrow, Venus is squaring Mars. Okay, so these are some important aspects to watch for. So Venus is the planet of love and squaring Mars, the planet of war. It could send a lot of sparks flying. So you really want to watch it in relationships, because it could cause a lot of tension and just watch how you are, because we're still in that square of that Saturn and Uranus. What I'm saying is this week is a hard one. Okay, just watch, be mindful, think before you go off. Thank you, Michelle. Oh yeah, I love wearing blue. Okay, but physical activity is a really great way to channel this energy, this Venus squaring Mars. It's a little rough on relationships. That's really what I'm saying here. On February 21st, yay, Mercury goes direct. Yahoo! It's been retrograde for a long time, 20 days, 21 days, and it goes direct in Aquarius. So what does that mean? Well, first we're going to say, whoo, thank goodness. But the first few days of that are a little energetically not easy, because it still means delays, miscommunications, tech glitches, um, and then it slowly goes forward again. And once it goes forward, boy, it's a great opportunity actually to reflect on everything that's gone on in that week before. I'm sorry, that month before. It's a really good time for that. And it will give you some more energy, because Mercury retrograde brings things back and kind of holds things back. And now the energy is going to go, woo, it's going to keep going. February 24th is a really interesting day, because Mars, the planet of war, is trining Pluto, which is the underworld. So trining is harmony, and ease. And you'd think those two, harmony and ease. But I'm going to tell you what this is really good for. So this is February 24th. Let's say you have to set boundaries with somebody. We'll just say maybe it's a sibling. I'm just saying. And if you are, you should be taking our class, Bad Siblings, right after this, February 27th. But let's just say you need to set boundaries with somebody. February 24th is a perfect day, because you can let it rip that day. You can just, it's going to be an intense day, but it's a great day to set boundaries with somebody that you have just had enough of. They'll get the message on that day. So go ahead. You have to, again, probably always have to watch being too aggressive, but something on that day is going to be a very clear set day for setting boundaries. The other thing about that period of time on the 24th is it makes us very ambitious. So you're going to have a lot of energy. And with that Mercury direct, you're going to feel like, okay, now I'm ready to go out and do what I want to do and do what I can do and do what I came here to do. So it's a really interesting time in life this month coming right up. So we have all kinds of things, but watch this square that yesterday, Wednesday square. It's going to be a doozy still. We're not out of the woods on any of this yet. So Peggy Harrington says, I've been unexplainably grumpy, argumentative that last a few days, not sure why. All is well, so I don't know what's up. Even my husband asked if everything was okay. These energies, Peggy, are just intense. And I think it has everything to do with that, frankly. I think we're going to see a mixed bag of emotions, because this energy is bringing up a lot of traumas too. A lot of traumas for people. Yeah, Hope says today was very intense. I agree, Hope. It was very intense. very intense. Um, Again, with this square, moving forward with Mercury still retrograde, moving about ready to turn. It's very intense. Courtney Farrick says, how's February 27th, your wedding date? It's a great day. That's what day it is. It's going to be a great day because the energy is going to be moving forward. And I think it's going to be great. And I think that is a day of the full moon, I think is that day, which will be a really amazing energy. So you're getting married this February 27th? Wow. I think it's perfect. Good for you. Lisa Denning. Hi, Lisa from Hawaii. Hi to Heidi too. Heidi and I are planning a dolphin seminar in May here in Hawaii. Do you see it being successful? Yes, I do, honey. Yes, I do. And let me just say this. If anybody's planning on going to Hawaii, now let me just say, I don't know if anybody's going to be traveling too much, but if they are, and I think the world opens up a little bit in April, and I think by May, people are going to be moving about the cabin more. She does a dolphin seminar. It's unbelievable. She's an incredible, I'm talking about Lisa, is an incredible dolphin photographer. You should go to look her up on Facebook, Lisa Denning. She's extraordinary. So anybody that's planning on doing anything with her and Heidi in Hawaii, and they're on the Big Island, it would be incredible. You'd be very lucky to do that. So, yes. Oh, Jonda Sewell said your prediction for me came true. Yay! I'm not sure what that was, but go me. Um, and Margaret, I can never get over that name. I just love to say it. Isn't Hawaii the heart chakra of the world? I've always heard that. I've always heard that, and I think it is. I think it is. Um, my daughter's birthday is February 28th. What a great day, Jessica. 10 of clubs. She must be very talented. It's one of my favorite days. So let's see. Zelinka, I'd love to tell you about your love life, but I need your birth date so I can help you a little bit with that. But in the meantime, I'm going to answer some questions here. And the first one I'm going to answer is from Charmaine Vitsky. Hi, Kelly. We have issues, bad siblings in this lifetime, or when we have issues with bad siblings. Will we have the same issues in our next lifetime if they're not resolved? This is a great question. I've forgiven my sister in my head and heart, but do not speak to her. Thank you for being such a bright light shining everywhere, especially during COVID. Oh, thanks, honey. Well, let me just say this. So, when we have difficult siblings, and in this lifetime, we'll start with, often what happens is they are our greatest teacher. I'll just say it like that. As much as I have complained um, and taught classes around, been traumatized by, um, they are our greatest teachers. I've learned the most from my siblings, everything actually. And so going forward in another life, maybe you'll be um, the mother to that child, to your sister. We all come in a soul group, and maybe you'll change roles because these are all roles. And so it's okay. I understand if you don't speak to her, and if even the forgiven in your heart, if you can, that's great. And I mean, if you can get to a place of that, if you can also just, view it from whatever trauma lens, that's the word to use. If you can view it from whatever trauma she went through, there's often you can you can forgive. But will you have to have the same issues? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. But great question. So I appreciate that. Um, so let's see. Um, okay, I have so many questions to ask, but I'm going to go through some of these first, and then I'm going to look at some comments here for birth dates. So, okay, Gloria. Hi, Gloria Scherer. I love Gloria. They moved me from California to Wisconsin and did an incredible job. So, Gloria, what does it mean when you see a cardinal at your window every day? I would say that is absolutely a loved one. When you see a cardinal and it's the same cardinal over and over, it's a loved one. That's a loved one. It's the greatest sign ever. We see so many now, and I'm just enjoying the heck out of it. So, okay. I have another. Okay, Renee Martinez. If you dream about a friend who passed, is it a visitation? Yes, it is. It is. How do you differentiate between a visitation and a regular dream where someone you once knew is in the dream? If somebody's passed away and they come to you in the dream, it's usually a visitation unless there was something that you had to also work out. But even if it was something you had to work out, it would still be a visitation. Yeah, anytime you dream about somebody who's passed, it's a visit. You might be still be working things out. I've had people come to me and apologize for different things in a dream state. So it's a great time to have a visit with everybody. Um, Bonnie Bond, great name. What does it mean that part of your soul stays on the other side? So James and I talk about this a lot. It's a great question. Our souls are just enormous. They're just enormous. And we only take a small, tiny bit with us and bring it down here to have this experience here. And the rest of us, as James would say, well, we might be on another galaxy. We might be out. There's a lots of parts of us. It's hard to understand, or because I can't even understand any as much of this as I can say. It's hard to fathom probably what we're all capable of and what goes on the other side, and what how much of us is here versus how much is there. But just know this, just a small aspect of us is here. Okay, but that was a great question. um, Courtney Farrick says, that's a great question, Renee. I just had a dream about my grandmother who has passed. Yes. And I was wondering if she was visiting. You betcha, Courtney. She was absolutely visiting. Yep. They love to come by and say, hello, I love you. I miss you. I'll see you again. So, Amy Augustine, I had a dream about Adam Sandler this week. Very odd. What does that mean? I would agree. That's very odd. Well, he was funny. I mean, Adam Sandler's funny. I'm not sure if that means that, were you needing a good laugh? I'm not sure what he means to you personally. That's a great question. I don't know, Adam, but that's a good question. Okay. Let's see. Renee Hammond says, Kelly, my dad Keith keeps trying to visit me. So I'm assuming he's passed. And I don't know what he's trying to tell me, and I'm getting worried. Oh, I don't think it's anything that is dire. I think it's probably he's just coming by to say hello. That's usually what they do. That's usually what they do. Sometimes they'll come by and say, check your furnace, or I've had that happen, or, make sure you change the locks on your doors. I've had that happen actually, but I don't think you have to worry about it. It's often just a nice visit. So, okay, another question is, Karen Kane, are people that get away with really horrible things that they've done in this life held accountable for their actions after death? If we have free will, why should our souls be held accountable for those misdeeds? Well, it's a great question. And yes, you don't escape anything. Nothing. Everything is recorded. Everything. It's the great book to read actually for this is, and I've talked about this a lot, is Daniel Brinkley, Saved by the Light. And he had 3 near death experiences, and he went to the other side, and he had to view in a life review everything that he had done. And at that time, he had to feel, and it's something like 20 times worse than whatever he's done to somebody. It's a really great book, and you should read it. Everybody should read it. It's really good. So, no, even though we have free will, our souls are still very accountable because you have free will. So, if you have free will, why would you hurt somebody? You have to really question that, right? So, Tammy Lynn Monahan Keneally says, I watched a program from England called Surviving Death. Has anybody watched that? I'd like to know. I started it and I never got more than 5 minutes into it. And it's about physical mediums that were strapped in a chair in a large room with a dozen controllers. I'm not sure what that is. People who kept them grounded. I was wondering if you've ever heard of these seances. I was curious because they wouldn't let cameras view them. It seems like an old carnival show. Golly, it sure does. Sounds like my idea of a not a good time. I don't know that, but James, that's a good James question. I'm going to ask James because that's a really good question here. Okay, so this is a great question, and this one is from Ardelia. Ardelia in Australia. I believed I have developed an online shopping addiction. I blame COVID. Oh my gosh. My question is, when our souls are entering a contract, do they put in there that they will have an addiction? If so, is the purpose of having an addiction, would it be to overcome the addiction? And if they don't overcome the addiction, would they have to come back on earth and learn to deal with it again? What a great question. So, if somebody develops an addiction while they're here because of free will and brain chemistry and everything else that goes on, it's really one of the reasons we're here is to have control over ourselves, our mind, our body, our soul, having control over ourselves. And so, if there's an addiction, it's to learn empathy for yourself, control over yourself, compassion for yourself, and others to have that experience as well. And would you have to come back and deal with it again? I don't know. It's a good question. Possibly on some level, possibly on some level, but you would get help on the other side with it. But good question. Thank you for that. I appreciate that one. Um, so let's see. Okay, let's see. Oh, Gina Marie says, "Hi Kelly, can you explain somatic experience therapy?" She said, "I haven't been sleeping in my bed for a couple of years and I would like to try it." So I gave her actually some information about somatic experience. But I do want to say about it, somatic experience therapy is somatic means of the body, and that trauma has been stuck in the body. And psych therapy, talk therapy sometimes is just not enough. Sometimes it is, but sometimes it's not. And if there's been trauma, like for instance, if you haven't slept in your bed and you know that there's a reason for it, probably there's some trauma that went on. And a somatic experience practitioner is extraordinary for helping to release traumas. Okay, so I am a huge fan of somatic experience. So I highly recommend that. Lori Schweiss Clem. I know people who are sick often see loved ones who have passed before they die. Yeah, that's so true. Is there a time frame prior to passing when they first have loved ones who pass come to help them make the transition? That's a really good question. Probably a couple days before, but it could even be, you know, a month before. It could be, there's no such thing as time on the other side. So that's a really good question, but I know that I've had that experience. So I probably like really soon before they pass. I'd say maybe 1 or 2 days before, but it could happen earlier too. Courtney Farrick says, "Do you know anything about pets that pass away?" Yes, they go to the Rainbow Bridge. You'll see them again. They'll often come back, and we'll have Tammy Hendricks on with our show in about, I think it's in a few weeks, and we will have her answer all the pet questions. She is fully the expert on that. But yeah, of course, our pets go to the other side and wait for us. Sometimes they reincarnate early to be with us. So it all depends. And you'll always get messages from them. And you have dreams about them. Oh my gosh, is that the truth? So this is a really good question. This is from Julie West. She said, "I was wondering if someone wasn't wanted in their family, what happens when they pass? And who comes to greet them?" Oh, so when I read this question, Julie, I thought, oh my gosh, did this happen to you? Were you not wanted in the family? Because, of course, that's the first thing a therapist is going to think. But there's always somebody that's there to greet you. Always. Always. It could be a guide. Excuse me. It could be a spirit guide. It could be a great grandmother that you don't know about. It could be a friend. It could be your pet. But before somebody passes, about 6 to 8 weeks in the universe, the call goes out, knowing what I don't care how, if accident, suicide, illness, it doesn't really matter. The call goes out and somebody is there to pick us up. So don't ever worry about that. Okay. But that's a good question. Um, let's see here. Okay. Verna, hi Kelly. I have a question. Why do we dream about people we don't particularly like? I guess, Verna, because you have things to work out. That means you have to work out some issues with this person. That's why. um, Kristen says, any meaning to seeing American robins? I'm sure there is. That one I don't know off the top of my head, Kristen, but thank you for asking, and I will get back to you on that. Or if somebody could Google American robin totem, that would be great for me because it means something here. Valerie Vasquez. My daughter speaks of an owl a lot. When my friend drew my tarot cards, an owl came out. Wow. She thought maybe my daughter is telling me I could be opening up or that she is. What do you make of it? How old is your daughter? Because the owl is the female psychic. So, owl is a huge totem. It brings protection. It's again the female side. So definitely your daughter is psychic and you had your daughter, so that would make you psychic. That's a great question. And with those V's in your name, two V's are the number 4. Your daughter is 3 years old, you said? I'm reading that comment. Oh, she's going to be very psychic. She's talking about owls now. These new kids on the block, these new souls that are here, they're amazing. I think that's just great. Donna Ballard, that's a good question. She says, do you believe we've all been example, the saint and the villain? If so, wouldn't that mean we all play roles to experience both sides of the coin? Example, the priest and murderer. Yes, we play. These are all, what does Shakespeare say? This is all a stage and we're all merely players. Yes, you could absolutely be the saint. You could be the villain. You could be the angel. You could be the, whatever, the negative side. I think we all have to have those experiences. That's another way to view it, actually, if you're looking for empathy or compassion. It's another way to view it is what if you were playing that role? You know. So it's a really good question. Why do we dream about people we've never met? Danny Jameson. Well, that's a really good question. Like a celebrity, maybe? Is that what you mean? Or just, I think that's what you mean by that. It's aspects of that person you may want, aspects you need to deal with, aspects of something here. The other thing is this. In homeopathic work, what they do is they believe in a dream you are every part of that dream. So what is an aspect of this dream that you've had about people you've never met that you either like, dislike, feel good about, don't feel good about? Think like that. It's a great question. And when I interpret dreams, that's the way I view them. Stacy Thompson, is walking away from an unhealthy relationship also healing it? Yes, it would be healing for you if you walk away from an unhealthy relationship. Yes, the other person will have to do their own work, but it ends it, and you set a boundary, and then you have to do the work on yourself. So there are times when you do have to walk away from an unhealthy relationship because you may have drawn that in. We learned through relationships. So you would have drawn that in to see what is it about you that you needed to do to take care of yourself here. And trust is a big thing with this. Trust, boundaries, love for yourself, know thyself. So it was a good question there. So let's see. Oh, I have to answer this. Maria Carp Diem says, does drinking alcohol or eating certain foods affect our spiritual connection? Yes, it does. So if I'm going to do readings, I do readings Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. I do not drink Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But Saturday night, that's another story. Then I clear out my energy and I start all over again. So, especially with this COVID wheel going, it seems it's always the same. Now, here's some questions that I have to get to because this to me, I really want to thank Marilyn Gabrish. I hope you're listening because she asked me some really great questions about borderline mothers, particularly. And she said, what do you think about sending love or energy to perhaps help fill the empty spot inside someone who has borderline personality disorder, offering it with the acknowledgement that the recipient's higher self can choose to accept it? So let me explain what a borderline personality disorder is. And there's a great book. Well, borderline personality disorder is this. It's on a continuum. It starts with narcissism, then goes to borderline personality, then goes to a sociopath, and then goes to psychopath. So it's on that continuum. Borderlines feel empty inside. You could literally give them, hook your blood up to them. It's not going to be enough. You know you're around one when you feel like you're walking on eggshells. So all of us have known this before. All of us have known this type before. And they often they're very dramatic. They can't have relationships with people. Nothing is the matter with them. It's always somebody else's fault. They will never think that they have to go into therapy because there's nothing the matter with them. And when you have a mother that's borderline, it's very difficult. Very, very difficult. And we'll talk about why you would have chosen that mother, but there is a great book, and I just got this, but somebody told me about this. When your mother has borderline personality disorder. And I don't know the author, so I'm not, but I know people that love this book. So this is a great book. Also, the Borderline Mother is a great book, and it really does talk about what the effect a borderline mother has on somebody. So, can you help send love and energy to that void that they're feeling? Yeah, yeah, you can absolutely. And you offer it with the acknowledgement that the recipient's higher self can choose to not accept it. Well, the higher self will accept it. The higher self will always accept love. It's the lower self here that has this self-loathing. They actually feel self-loathing. So it's really a painful, painful thing. And then Marilyn continues to ask, if we choose our parents, why would someone choose to have a parent with borderline personality? And the next question, which really is the first one, if we choose our life journey coming here, why might somebody choose to come back as a borderline? So I'm going to answer that one first. So as you know, I had a traumatic brain injury. That's what happened to me, and it opened me way up here. And initially, when I had this brain injury, I started going into these yogic yoga positions. I don't know what even to call them. And with every position that I found myself into, energy would be moving through me. And it's Kundalini energy. And Kundalini energy is this giant energy that comes up and out of you. And it's our life force. It's our vital life force. And when we incarnate, we have memories that kind of come in with us, in our subtle bodies and our mental bodies. We carry past life, some traumas. So here I'm having I had this head injury and I'm doing my body starts going into some yogi moves. Very weird. And I started seeing past lives. And I saw a past life of my sister. And it was just so painful to watch what she had gone through in this past life. It was uncanny. And I had a lot of compassion for watching that. But I do know that this type of personality disorder comes from trauma. So if you look at trauma, whether you might think, but there's no trauma in this life, I bet you there is. I'm positive there would be, because it would go back generations and generations. So it always comes from trauma. So it's not that they would choose necessarily to become a personality disorder, But once they get into this energy, it may just go right into it. And they also probably have to work out whatever their traumas were in a previous life. And people have to have a lot of love and compassion for them and boundaries. It's a real tricky thing. Very tricky. I have a lot of compassion for it, but I also have a lot of boundaries for it. So I hope that, and so you would choose a parent with borderline personality to learn love and compassion and boundaries. That would be it. It's a tough one. To me, it's really the hardest one to learn, hardest lesson to learn. Well, maybe there's something harder. Loss of children is more difficult, way more, but this is a big one. So anyway, I hope that kind of answers that. Ardelia, spiritual medium Kellee White. Apparently, there is a big boom of babies being born. I like that big boom of babies due to COVID. That's true. Do you think many of these star seeds are coming to Earth? 100%. 100%. I think these babies wanted to be here so badly that they'll take no power, no water, freezing snow, COVID, and they still want to be here. They want to be here. Yeah, because they're ones that are going to bring us light, love, compassion, new age technology. They're going to they're going to usher us in to where we need to be. I have chills when I said that. So, yeah, this 2-year period that we're having with, 2021 and 2020 and 2021 will bring a lot of babies, which will be extraordinary. Lori Count says, my grandmother's likeness shows up in the mirror of the bathroom from Steam. Wow! Of the people that bought her house, they've replaced the mirror twice. I took photos in great awe. I felt such amazing love from my grandmother. I have chills. Lori, she must have been some gal. That is some force of energy. I don't know if I've heard that one, but God, I'm going to look next time I take a shower with steam. I'm going to look. I'll say, hey, mom, come on, go. But I think that's really, really cool. So, that's a good one. Okay, this is from Wise LA. I have a question about soul groups. I understand we have a soul group that we incarnate with. Yes, we do. Do we move to a different soul group or get new souls into a group as our souls advance? Yes, that's exactly right. We do. We get new souls come in, and maybe I want to be in a different group. Maybe I'm sick of this group and I want to go to another group. That's really funny. But yes, I mean, I think there's a constant change in energy, and we go here, we go there. So, oh, Lori says her grandmother was an artist photographer. That would make sense, Lori. Oh my God. So Peggy Harrington says, struggling with getting answers from guides as to how I can be of service. Thoughts? Well, Peggy, let's see. What do you want to do? I don't think you have to wait for the answers from the guides. Are they putting anything in front of you? Like, I don't know, anything. Do you know what you want to do? Often you're here to help. People are here to help. So maybe think of it in those terms. Tam Wilkinson, can you send me a beautiful healing? You're healed. I just had to do that. Sorry. Send you a lot of love and prayers, Tam. A lot of love and prayers. Let's see. Adeline Mersch, do we choose whether we have children before we incarnate? I always thought I'd have a kid, but now I'm 39 and no prospects in sight. Gosh, Adeline, I get asked that question every day. Yes, we choose whether we want to have children before we incarnate. We may get here. Let's say we say, no, I don't want kids. And then we might get here and go, I don't know. Maybe. I mean, can soul contracts be changed? I'm going to say yes on that. But I get asked that an awful lot. But if you always thought you would have a child, then maybe you still will. 39 is not the end of everything. 43, 44 makes it a little more challenging. But 39, you're still there. Okay, Priscilla Sheridan. Hi, Kelly. What's the difference between intuition and wishful thinking? That's a great question. Ooh. Well, intuition is like I could wish, ooh, I'm going to win $1 million. But intuitively, I'd be like, "Nah, I don't think it doesn't feel like right for me." Um, I never bought a lottery ticket or anything. So um, I think that's the difference. Intuition is a knowing. It's in your gut. You know. Oh, Ardelia says, Spiritual Medium Kellee White, do you have an estimated time of arrival on when Harry T will be on our show? So let me tell you about Harry T. Yes, I do. And I believe so. Harry T is a great medium from Australia, and he and Lisa Williams were on the show that Shirley and I had, Both Sides Now TV. Let's see, when were they on? I don't know. We were in the Hollywood studios when we had that, so maybe 3 or 4 years ago. I can't remember now, long before COVID. And so Harry T, wonderful Australian medium, is going to be on our show. I think it's March 4th. Yes, it's March 4th, Ardelia. So we're preparing for that now. And that's going to be so fun. That's going to be, oh, yeah, right. Kim in. Meghan Markle is pregnant now at 39. That's right. See, there you go. There you go. I think that's great. So, okay, now I'm going to look at a few birth date here. Let's see, and I'm so sorry I didn't get to anybody. Okay, Zachelina Protaga, 1124. November 24th is a 9 of hearts. So you definitely come in to be in a relationship, but you also come in to learn everything you can about emotions. Now, often that birth placement gets married a little later in life. Not every time, but often it does. So you did come in to have a love life. I would say once you learn to love yourself, you also come to be of service. 9 of hearts is a little tough emotional. You have to learn so many things about emotions, but relationship is right in there. So you'll have one. You come in to have a love life. Don't worry, you'll have one. You will have one. So Kathy Wood, I have to read this one. Kathy Wood Ryhan, 1224. Okay, December 24th is a 7 of hearts. So 7 of hearts also, I know a lot of really good therapists that are 7 of hearts. And on that birthday, you come in also to deal with emotions and to deal, funny thing, it's a funny dual aspect. Things are not going to be easy for you in relationships. Actually, you might have picked some pretty difficult ones to learn things from. It's not necessarily an easy placement, but I will tell you this, it's a very important one because it's all about learning again about relationships and yourself. So it's a very powerful life for you, Kathy. It's important. It's a good one, and especially helping others. Janice Peterson, July 13. Okay, July 13th is a 2 of diamonds. 2 of diamonds comes into partner, comes in to have a relationship, comes in to make money, comes in to be really creative. I've seen some wonderful artists that come out of that. It's a I know the early part of your life would have been tough, but ultimately it provides you with great security too. It's a good one for security. Okay, that's an important one. Janine Walston on 10/6. So October 6th is a 3 of diamonds. So 3 of diamonds, Janine, is not the easiest placement. In fact, if anything, it's probably the most difficult one. So I know so many 3 of diamonds. Oh my gosh, so many. But it's one that in a previous life you would have been a power person, and in this life you have to overcome things. So it's a challenged birth placement, I'll tell you that. But again, and every birth date has its positives and negatives. The positive side on that is this is the most learning that you will ever do in any life, and so bravo to you. It's not an easy one. So okay, let's see, where am I with all of these? Um, Gretchen White, this is a hacker's delight. Oh, is that what's going on? Oh God, how awful. Okay. Let's see. Mary Baker. Wait a minute. Mary Baker. And she's 531, May 31st. Ace of Clubs. Ace of Clubs is somebody that has come to learn everything about everything. They're going to be an expert here, then they're going to be an expert here, then they're going to do this there, they're going to do this there. They often come to write. They're very psychic. It's hard to pick one career for an Ace of Clubs because they can do a lot of things and they really want to learn. They're the constant learners in the group. So, Kathy Davis, 10/28, 1954. What about creativity? You know, Kathy, October 28th is probably my favorite day of the year. I don't know why. I just always love that day. And I know that it's a seven of hearts. And it's seven of hearts again come in to have deep spirituality. They can absolutely be creative. It would have to do in the form of really getting your emotions, learning about emotions. Emotions are going to be a big one in this one. But if I look correctly, you were born 54, 9, 10, 11. You're a three. So you've got to be very creative. Three, you're natural three. Threes are very creative. So create away. Um, let's see. Lori counts five of hearts, 11/28. Yeah, five of hearts, not easy either. A lot of emotions. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of hearts, jack of hearts, a lot of emotions there. And a five of hearts comes to experience, well, a lot of deep relationships, would have been disappointment. Then there'll be some positives too, but it's an awful lot. So Adeline March says, what does an ace of diamonds mean? June 16th. So June 16th is an ace of diamonds. Ace of diamonds is about, let's see, love or money. Love or business? Do I work or do I have a relationship? It's tough to have it both. You can, but it's a kind of rare. But I always see them as very successful, sharp as attack, and very successful. Diane D, 11/11, November 11th. That's a lot of 11s there. 1972, 77, 8, 9, 10. Oh, you're an 11, period. November 11th is a 9 of clubs. So you would come to completion things. You'd come to have a soul completion and you come to learn again everything about everything. So knowledge is going to be really critical for you to learn everything you can and then to complete a cycle, complete something. So it's a big life. Let's see. Hope Unterschutz. This is a great question. Are we looked down upon by our maker? If we decide there are certain challenges you no longer want to live through anymore because of suffering, do we have the right to choose not to suffer and to end our lives on earth? Well, we do have free will. We do have free will. And I would say, if it's possible, honey, that, to look into some counseling with some somatic experienced person. That's where I would go with this. But are we looked down? I don't think anybody's looked down by anything. They understand how tough it is here. This is a tough place. This is a tough place. There's a lot of help here if you look around and ask for it. But, and yeah, sometimes there's challenges you just don't want anymore. But especially if there's a lot of suffering here. But do we have the right to choose not to suffer? That's a good question. It takes a long time to for a soul to incarnate. It takes so much effort on the other side. Everything we have to put together, everything we have to do. It's so I can't really. The way I would answer it is I would get as much help as you could, if that's what you're feeling right now. It's tough, but you are tougher. Right on, Joanne. It is tough. This world is really tough. I mean, my daughter called me crying yesterday because they have had no power for days. It's just terrible tough, but somehow we get through it. Monica Donian Hauseman, September 20th, my birthday. Career, 4 of clubs. I have so many interests, passions to narrow it down to something I truly want to do. I can tell you from personal experience, do something to help others. But always, four clubs has to use their passion to do something. So I'm not sure what you were born, but go for it. Passion. Whatever you have the most passion for. It's fun to work with your passion. It's so much fun. Makes life so much greater. Um, Blythe Handy. I like that name, Blythe. 226. February 26th. Now we're just coming up to your birthday, honey. Queen of Clubs. Queen of Clubs. Okay. I always bow to the Queen of Clubs. They know everything about everything. Everything. You would know, you'd be able to tell me something. Very, very, very psychic. Very psychic. And you would come in with a little bit of worry because your brain would be on overload a lot. What I find with people that I call them have a brain is a technique to do is just to kind of calm yourself, your amygdala. Just do this business. Calm yourself down. That seems to help a little bit about also. Gina Marie, I'd like to know about my love life. June 28th. June 28th is a Two of Clubs. Two of Clubs does come in to have a lot of friendships. So if you want to have a love life, then you have to really make that happen by because you're very friendly. The friendliness comes out, but you do come in to couple up. You do come in to have a partner. So just put some energy towards it. You could do it. Yes, Blythe Handy says lots of anxiety. Yeah, honey. It's a one that Queen of Clubs always, but you know everything about everything. Maybe just put it into use of using your psychic ability, helping others. You know, Nikki Diana, September 12th. September 12th is like, oh no, another Queen of Clubs. I'm on a roll. Um, Queen of Clubs is, again, what I was just saying with a love life. They do come in to have a partner. Often, what will happen is you'll have to find somebody that, you have to watch being too dominant with somebody because there needs to be an even exchange of energy. And a Queen of Clubs, from my experience, knows a lot and kind of doesn't ever back down. So in a relationship, you kind of have to little bit, not, you know, make it work, I guess. Karen Hansen, when will I stop grieving and move forward to living a good life? 1026. Oh, honey, are you grieving the loss of? What happened? I'm not sure what happened. Um, Here, what you're grieving about, but 1026, October 26 is a Nine of Hearts. Nine of Hearts is a tough one. So, but Nine of Hearts also can have the most incredible life. My little baby grandson is a Nine of Hearts. And when he was born, I said, oh no, to my daughter, oh no, no, have him come the day before or the day after. Oh no. Anyway, he came on Nine of Hearts Day, of course. So, they go through their trials and tribulations. And, but it's actually, you have the ability to experience the most love on such a deep level here. It's such an important lifetime for you. Um, okay, let's see. Marcia Marquise, you said I was a 9 of diamonds. Yes, 6 of 10. I'm in such a huge life transition at 64, single, isolated, and with so much future unknown. I feel like I've been exiled. Any advice for me? Oh, Marcia, I'm so sorry. It's got to feel terrible. And you were born, oh my gosh. Yeah, you were born like me, 1957. This is a year for wisdom. I know you feel isolated. A lot of us feel isolated, and I get that. But reach out to others because you are a 7 of diamonds. 7 of diamonds has the ability to overcome anything. And I would say that in this period of time, what are you learning about yourself? Because you're here for what you value. Do you value yourself? Look at it like that. 64 is nothing nowadays. Truly, it's nothing. It's not too late. You haven't missed a boat. I think you just have to go inward now. That's all. But reach out if you need help with people or for people, reach out to others. Okay. Okay, Carmen Swick. Hi, Kelly. My mom's passing anniversary is coming up on the 24th and would love to hear a message from her, please. She says, make sure you're dressing up during this time. I don't know where I just heard that from, unless that was my own mother. Make sure you're dressing up at this time, especially for her anniversary. Okay? I don't She's very special here. This gal is special, Carmen. Yeah, make sure you get your lipstick and everything. Fix your hair. Why does that sound like my mother? Um, okay. Oh, Arlene says she's a 1957 baby too. We should be friends. That's true. 1957 is a 22 year, and a 22 year is a builder. We had deep purpose here. Let's see. Oh, Patricia Benet, my dad's passing anniversary is today. Well, let's say hello to your dad because he is around today. They get very active. Oh, I got chills. They get very active the day that they passed on their anniversary. Very active. Did you just start seeing pictures of them or you're constantly thinking about them? They love it. They love when you think of them. And he sends you a lot of love, Patricia. A lot of love there. A lot of hugs, I want to say. Donna Ballard, your dad says he is doing great. He's doing great. He says for you to stop worrying about him. Okay. Oh, hey. Hi, Hala. I love her. She's so neat. I miss you too, honey. You're a terrific gal. And you were born on 9/11, September 11th. September 11th was a very important day. Now, that's a king of clubs. So you're a female that thinks like a man. Any king of clubs that's a female thinks like a man. And that 9/11, powerhouse day, right? I mean, powerhouse day. So you wanted to be here for sure. And anyway, so here, everybody, I want to say a couple of words to shout out to everybody in Texas. If they're even listening, I doubt it, but if they are, I send you a lot of love and prayers and thinking about you guys. If you've had difficult siblings, brother, sister, stepsister, stepbrother, any of them, I love my half brother Theo. I love him to death. He's the best. But families you got mixed marriages and all kinds of things. If you've had one, please join us on our webinar with Dr. Shirley on February 27th. And James Van Prague is going to be doing a great, he's going to take the class with us, which is going to be really fun. And he's going to do a live meditation. So bad siblings, a rivalry gone wrong. So please join me and Dr. Shirley and James for joining us for the bad siblings. We're really going to talk about all kinds of things from attachment to birth order to personality disorders and really ultimately getting some healing and boundary work done. And because none of it's easy. None of it's easy. So that's going to be fun. And join James and me on Monday night. We're going to be talking about, oh my gosh, the unconscious. That's going to be a good one. That's going to be a lot of fun too. And what else? I think that's it, everybody. So thank you so much for joining me. Really appreciate it. And I'll see you Monday night.
You've been listening to Ask Me Anything, featuring spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.